is there more soldiers on the other side of that EMA? Did they go pick up new soldiers? Because, you know, now that it's weak, to kind of give y'all a little background, right? I love trading. I've done trading for a long period of time, and oh, come on, 4:30. Come on. Let's go. All right. Good morning, my neighbors. Welcome to another episode of After the Trades, as we go ahead and get into our non-earning season. Probably going to be doing that more often. So as I want to say thank y'all for being extra patient as I'm developing more and more how I want to structure this channel. But yeah, I think After the Trades is perfect for after our earnings season. You know, we're walking into quad witching. We got less than a week, or just about a week on quad witching. So this is probably a good time for you to. Oh, what it do, Rod? Good morning. Welcome. And you could go ahead and kind of like balance yourself as we go ahead and conquer our challenges. So that said, let's go ahead and get into the charts a little bit and kind of see what is going on that side. So the first thing I want to kind of bring up, let me go ahead and get rid of my daily update. First thing is we're not playing like this. This market is doing some very interesting things. Oh, actually, what I gotta do, let me get this done too. That's a knife. Let me get my daily updates into play because oil's starting to make some moves. I am tardy to the party, though. The market is open. I did not do my NQ1, so let me just go ahead and knock out the NQ1. That should take me a few seconds. If you haven't been on this show before or any of my shows, we love doing opening range in the first 15 minutes, but we're going to be sprinkling a whole bunch of other strategies and ideologies so that way you can go ahead and plan your trades out and find other ways of making money other than opening range. So let me go ahead and put this back on. All right, perfect. It looks like we have established and removed this bad boy. So now we got ourselves a rebalance of a bullish momentum to this side. Let's go ahead and fix that up a bit. Bring you over, and there we are. All right, that looks good. Okay, so we're sitting on top of strong movement, trying to get back up into that side. And the funny thing about it, it's going to take out that all-time high. That's what they're looking for. That's what they're going after. So we're going to see how that pans out. Let me lock all these in. All right, let's get this hidden so that way we could get deep into this. So yeah, so opening range is very simple. We look for the first 15 minutes. Oh, they already rejected it. So let me give y'all the level. This is the level that they are trying to attack with this momentum, which would bring us to 24,668, and current price action has brought us to 24,064, and it rejected. Very interesting action there. Come on, get out the way. All right, let's go ahead and bring my chart down here. There we go. I'm gonna keep an eye on some tickers on that side, and we're gonna get this ball rolling. All right, and we're not gonna deal with you, so let me put you up here. All right, making sure I have everything set the way I need it. Display is off. Yep, display is off. Oop, I think I just turned it on. There we go. That's off. All right, so what we got? It looks like we got ourselves the opening range. The opening range is starting to build itself out a little bit, and what it looks like it is doing a bit of this. We got ourselves Stranger Danger sitting at 24,045, so that's probably going to be an area of very interest. in the next 2 to 3 minutes. Shout out to Javi. I don't know if he's on here. Okay, he's not on here. So Javi likes his 2 minutes in itself. Let's see if we could go ahead and have some fun with this. Let's go ahead and switch over to micros over here. It looks like we're going to be breaking down. If this thing breaks this low, we'll take a nice little stab at that. And you can see VWAP is very light too. So the way VWAP is moving, and wants to push up. So we got a nice pop here, and you can kind of see it's following a bit. Okay, let me go ahead and send this to me others. I'm gonna lock in for right now because I don't want it to get deleted. Let's put that there. Yeah, so I'm gonna see if we could get a break to this downside because it looks like they want to kind of push it down. I would short when the, I don't know, I'm not going to be aggressive because I really think we're going to go on the upside. If the 2 minute closes below this bearish line at 26, 24.026, I might short it. In for a good time, not a long time. Probably come down to like about 14 and then take my profits wherever it may be. Something super, 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 super light. Lots of bullish momentum. They want to see if they can take out those new highs. They really do. All right. While we wait for that, let me talk about some of the things that has came through on my signals, letting me know what's going on. It looks like Alcoa is making some moves. What else we got here? Oh, I get that breakthrough. Hold on. We'll get back to tickers in a little bit. Come on, baby. Show me something nice. We got 39 seconds waiting for it to close below. Nothing to put an option contract to, but it should be fun to kind of get a little quick scalp in if this thing closes below. If it doesn't, I may abandon it in its totality, and because then it should have been like something like going to a lower time frame, play the momentum and whatever is left there. But we're getting a little bit of a bounce on this VWAP. Let's see what they do with this. 5 seconds. That was my target. You know what? We're gonna do it anyways. Let's get in it. Yeah, we're gonna risk about $30. I think that's oh, you already got the $30. Come on. Give me something, a little space. Come on, don't you dare. Oh, they want that $30 bad. Look at that. Let's see if we get in. So I'm down like, okay. Oh, actually I'm up. Whoa. Let's put your, come on. I want to be able to put that break even and be able to weather this. Come on. Let's put you at break even. Let's hold on right there. I'll take a break even. All right, I'll take the break even. So when we made that massive move down, I knew we have very little targets here, and we were coming back to this line, and I was a little apprehensive. I wanted it to fill all the way to here, but that's under this line. So instead of me being risky, yeah, it could open up, but I am really waiting for that 15 minutes. So patience is a virtue, and you just take the opportunities that's there. It did spike up $40, and I was almost took the $40, but then I was like, all right, let me put that break even just in case I'm wrong. And if it gave me another $40, I would have went ahead and took the $40. All right, so let's go ahead and come back out. All right, let me unlock this. So this is part of our 15-minute opening range. Strange Danger sitting at 036 now. So we're gonna go ahead and see how that goes. Oh, we got Javi in here. Good morning, Javi. Oh, we got Lee. Good morning, Lee. Welcome to the party. Hopefully you got some some of that move if you were doing a short scalp. Lee, are you able to hear me? Okay, I guess he probably at work. Anyways, let's go ahead and keep this going. Oh, we see. So now, so we're still pushing down, which I thought we could, but I didn't want them to come back and get me. Right? Let me go back to that 2 minute. Right? It was a good solid break. I was aiming for us to get under this area here that would bring us to this level, like around 981, and they really pulled it really deep back, and that was that pullback where I was down like 30 bucks, and I wanted to see if I could get like 50 or 60, and we came right to this order block, and we had another block, and this is the other one that was going to be tough. So that's why I said I want the momentum to stay, because when they start to pull back into these things, that's when you start to get yourself into a lot of trouble, because that means they're pulling back and getting all those bears that came to help you out, and it could cause problems later. So that's why it's very important that you stay judicious, and I had a plan. So we're trying to stick with the plan. All right, all right, all right. Got a little bit more of a push back up. Let's come back over to the 15-minute. We got about 5 more minutes until this candle closes. So I'm going to just do a rundown on the other tickers. Let's go over to the daily real quick. All right, let's get daily update out the way. Boom. Oh, okay, kind of zoomed in a little bit. All right, so we got ourselves oil. Oil this morning kind of gave me a nice little signal that it was going to push to the upside. I kind of missed that trade. But I was really playing NQ, so I didn't want to be in 2 different positions. So I'm okay with missing out on that. Could get more of an upside. Gold is consolidating in a good spot for them to try to get to 3789, which could probably spike up the market. Silver's already made its move, so it should be dragging gold. So gold is a little bit of a laggard. We got the British pound that's still in its consolidation as they tried to unravel this head and shoulder action and push back up, because we only got 50% of the move. We didn't even get the full measured move to this downside. Bitcoin is still powering up. We got back above that fair value gap that we were looking at, and then we got ourselves the Russell. The small caps are getting a lot of attention when the large caps kind of get into trouble. This is what you want to see. And then the last is the US dollar, the undeniable force of the market. We did not break this pivot, and I had a very strong feeling we wasn't going to do so. So this drop is very warranted, but you know, we're supposed to get some news in a little bit at 10 o'clock. So we'll see what Michigan sentiment has for us. All right, so let's get back over to NQ. Come back over to the 15-minute. Let's see, did we get any lower? Nope, not really. And that's what I was saying. That 2-minute was a good trade if it did not take out this fair value gap and then continued and then came back for the fair value gap. But the market does what it wants to do, and we are its loyal servant. We do not force anything in the market. Not at all. All right, all right, all right. What we got, what we got, what we got. Let's get this out my way. Gotta lock you again. Let's come back to the 15 minutes. So we got about 3 minutes left here. They don't want to give up that 24,000 because that's that psychological level. But you can kind of see we got a bearish divergence. You got this whole entire rise here. Let me grab a trend line. You got a rise like this, and you got a fall like this right here. The MACD is not doing the same, but the histogram is. So we got this. So very interesting spot. Just got to be patient, and we're not going to go ahead and force anything in the market. Zero force it. You say it's going to be a down day? I could see it. I could see it being a down day. Mm-hmm. No, we didn't. What, ES or NQ? No, no, we didn't. The all-time high is at 68. We got it. We got close to it at 64. Now, ES did, but not NQ. It's way too close for them not to try to get up there because we're talking about 4 points of a difference. Whew. Down to maybe down here at 23,967. But in 15 minutes, we're going to get Michigan sentiment. So that's going to also cause a little bit of an issue. Okay. No, of course, of course. We're trying to give our best case assessment. That's how we play this game. Totally on the same page with you. I follow. All right. Mm-hmm. The market will do that crap. I hate that. No, the blue one is my VWAP. The thin blue one, I should say. Not over with until he. Oh, jeez. But you know what? At least you got something to distract you, because we're more than traders, right? We everything exactly. All right, we get a nice little push up here. Okay, I think this thing's gonna be in a holding pattern just for the news that drops at 10 o'clock. We're at stranger danger as we're trying to get right on through. All right, we got a nice little push right there, creating more of a deviation. What level are they looking for? They might be going back to 47, 2047. All right, could be getting ourselves a nice little drop here. Should have some fun with some paper trading. As I don't think I want to play this first part into the news drops. Actually, you know what? I think I might just do that. Ooh, that's one of my favorite tickers. I'm gonna run through my investment portfolio before we get out of here, because I'm starting from scratch, trying to build it up and have some fun and diversifying. So stay tuned. Roughly around 10:30, 10:45, we'll get that done. All right, so we're getting a little bit of a bounce here. You know the funny thing about kids? If you are doing absolutely nothing, they don't want to have nothing to do with you. But as soon as they're on a phone call, you got something that you have to have your complete and utter. It's like there's a trigger in their brain, like, oh, his attention is completely taken. Let me see if I can distract him. Like a biological marker. Like he's supposed to be doing his assignments right now. And no, but I just have. Can we make breakfast? Why would you ask me that now? Like, why don't we have this conversation about 30 minutes before the show starts? Yep. Yep. Yeah. Oh, I gotta eat. I gotta this. I gotta. What about the 6 hours that you just put on 2K? You telling me you couldn't eat between that? No, no, no. I was in a tense game. It was tough, Dad. That's why it takes a village to raise a kid. If people think that it's only them and they feel lonely and all that stuff, nah. About some of these stories, you'll be surprised what these kids be doing. Hmm. Oh, he was on punishment. Yeah. Hmm. And what time was it? Yeah. Hmm. Nice try. Nice try. So the card, you playing a dangerous game, Lee. Your card is linked to their account. Oh no, no, we ain't doing that. He came in real quick. We're like, ooh, there is a card attached. Ding, 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 ding. No, it's not invisible. It's on the game. You don't see it. There, it's right there. Not the skins. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, nah, it's yeah. I told myself I will personally purchase when they get to that point. I haven't done it yet, but I will purchase a debit card or a prepaid card, and that prepaid card will have access where I can either Zelle or something. And as they do certain things that's right, boom, it'll fill up. When they do things that are wrong, I can Zelle it right back, right? And that way they can kind of see where their balance is and link that card to it so that way it can't go through and there's no overdrafts or anything like that. Mm-mm, not my card. Because I know me, I'm a gamer. So if I have like, and they design these things so easily where all it is put your here's a shortcut password and all you have to do is hit two buttons and it goes in. But when it comes out a refund, you got to fit 15 buttons to get a refund. You know what I'm saying? Like they design it so it can be easy to purchase but hard to get a refund. So yeah, you gotta put it on the debit card. Get a whole separate debit card, right? Just get. Well, how old is he now? Yeah, I would say, or even better, you at Regions. Don't y'all got the child account, right? Like y'all got something for kids, right? Okay. Yeah, that way never forget to look, keep the card. There ain't no money in it anyway. Give you peace of mind. All right. So we got a little bit of an issue on that ticker over there. We're gonna check that one out too. All right. You see how we just sideways? This is just pure consolidation after building a bearish divergence. Where's the extension? We got 7 minutes into the news. Perfect example of that. So that's why I'm just sitting back, relaxing, especially enjoying the conversation. Oh my God, kids are hilarious. He said he was trying to win the prize for you. I didn't know you played Fortnite, Lee. Other people playing Fortnite and YouTube and try to copy that, but they'll spend like 5 hours watching that and 1 hour playing. It's the most craziest thing. I don't like to watch people play games. I'll play the games myself. Oh, you had to get your gift back. Oh yeah. I know you schooled them with Philadelphia with that Saquon back there. Woo, Lamar Jackson. Yeah, that's a hard pill. Hmm. Yeah. Okay, okay, okay. So you got to get back. I know your wife is looking at you like you do realize this is a game. No, this is not a game. It's about the principle. Oh man. My son, yeah, I hate Roblox because my son he's completely OP. Like he is tough on Roblox, like really tough. He's beating some older kids, and he's like, not, no, 10 now. So yeah, yeah, it's it's driving me crazy. Yes. Test out some. Yeah. Yeah, get him engaged in that. And then the best part about it, if he really loves it, it's another thing that you can be like, listen, you get your schoolwork and this and that, then you have opportunities for doing this and this and that. You got to give him those carrots. You got to give him. So yeah, yeah, no, of course, of course. Damn, that's pretty cool. Is he like into the esports thing? This guy? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll bring the pizza. All right. Oh, yeah, we're old school. We can't get away with that. Not Zelda. Well, it depends on what Zelda. If you're doing the Wii with the 3D, but if you're talking about old school Zelda on the NES, they ain't looking for that. Actually, I take that back. Yeah, no, there is a esport competition for some of the old games. I think it was like Galaga or something, and they're holding the controllers like this, like on their chest, and they're like it's like typing a code. They know what it's the fastest to get through Mario was a thing, like the original first Mario with all the shortcuts and everything. And there's some people that can do it in like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and I don't know if y'all remember that. We used to spend hours trying to get through that stuff. Yeah, it's almost like the Rubik's cube. Like these kids are like off the chain with those things. Oh, we got 30 seconds until the news. Okay. Right. That wasn't with it. Yeah, it wasn't with it. They're like, I'm stepping on a mushroom's head. What is that? Where's the 3D? Oof. You, you saw that spike through? Yeah, they just took out a lot of buy side liquidity that stepped in since about 950. Oil still making moves. We'll check that out in a little bit. Run through all these alerts that's popping up. I think we're gonna get another push to the upside. Good. Yeah, they just took out a lot of liquidity, but it's not as much as I thought they would have taken. Yeah, we spiked right through that level. Look for a break above 49 into that 2450. Probably going to get a nice little spike there. And then we're going to go straight to opening range. That's the only thing I could see right now. Unless they came in to fill the orders up in that level. But we're going to see. We're going to see what the market does with this information. We are above VWAP. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this price action. Part of me wants to just play it up off of feelings, and that's not how we trade, right? I want to ignore the liquidity sweep, but I gotta take to it. Or at least we try not to trade with feelings. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's how it usually works, right? Also, the casino made millions off of that. And that's how computer monitors gets broken too. Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. That's it. That's the ultimate prop firm reset. Get a brand new monitor and a reset at the same time. Buy one get one. Really? Are you serious? I'm assuming that those laptops has they're just dated. You replace it. You didn't throw it against the wall or anything, right? No. Javi, did we lose reception? Javi, you a mess. All right, it looks like we're going to get that 50 here. Let's see if we can get up there. Got a nice little spike right there. That means sell side liquidity has a lot of pressure on its neck right now. Let me start to take the candle pivot. Let's see how that looks. Our next target is 20,064 if we can get there. All right, we came back to bounce a little bit. Oh, I thought you was on mute because you said you threw your laptop twice against the wall. That's why you had to go through 3 laptops. Oh, the laptop's not going fast. Oh, got you. Got you. Yeah, that's what happened with me. My laptop, when I first came in with cheat code, my laptop was perfectly fine for everything else, but I knew it was a little older. It's as old as my son. And then when I started to add more indicators, and then when I tried to load up in the morning and it was taking forever, I was like, nah, I gotta get something better because I need to be ready when I need to be ready. And I spent almost $2,500 on a desktop PC. And it was the best investment I ever had. Just had to been 2021 when we was having chip issues and you couldn't get a computer. It was like overheated a little bit, but nah, this computer is lasting. I even do a lot of my edits in here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. And have I showed y'all? I showed y'all what my screens look like, right? No. Oh. Now let's do something fun. Also for YouTube. All right. This is it. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me make it a big size. This is it. So I got this one is like my option stuff. This is what I share with y'all. This down here is my streaming service, and then over there is my list of things that I'm working on, and that's where I put a lot of my prop stuff when I'm trading. That's what I said. When I went hammer for a computer, I went for something that can do everything. Yeah. Well, my plan is when I get everything the way I want it, because this computer is now officially 4 years old. I'm going to actually 3.5. I think probably 3.5. As I want to get one of those the Macs that has the same type of design, so that way I can do my editing on one side, and then I'm gonna buy a specific desktop for my trading again, and it's gonna have probably like 6 monitors because I run out of monitors for everything that I do. Like right now, I want to do some editing. I can't do editing, and I got so much because I'm backlogged because of all the chaos that happened. Oh, that I don't think I showed y'all. This is the breaker. This is the one that went out on me. I damn near was about to electrocute myself. Yeah, the other day. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was scared like crap, but I knew if I wasn't paying nobody no $500 just to unplug something and plug something back in. So this, I run so much power out of my office, it blew that. Was that? White line is the 50 EMA. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I didn't take the bounce because it's still inside the range, and I'm trying to avoid taking things inside the range. Like even now, we're still kind of choppy inside. We don't got a real pure trend going on here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. Are inside the ranges. Yep. Waiting for the breakout, but the range is live and well. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I just can't say wife because at the end of the day, I want to sleep on the bed. So we can talk about kids because they can't do nothing about it. Yeah. 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 It is. And then I clock out. Yeah. 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 Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, so to kind of give you a little insight on ranges, like let's just take um roughly around yesterday when we kind of got into this range. I saw it after the fact because I thought it was going to break out at one point, and I gained $50 in the morning, lost $50 in the afternoon. That's what ended up happening, and I was like, yeah, it's just inside the range. I thought we was going to get a breakout, but if you think about it, most people when they do ranges, they'll do it like this. They'll box out something like this, and and then they'll be like, oh well, the range is that candle, and this is the range, and then they'll just try to play for the center and this, that, third. To be honest, I think it's a bad idea. I think what you want to do is get like three, maybe four candles or whatever the case may be. And what you want to do is these are your extremes, right? So those are the areas you should be looking for a reversal, right? I'm literally working on a profile of this, right? So let's just say that this is the range, right? Because what you're saying is, well, this body or whatever the case may be, and this is some of the extremes here, and these are some of the extremes there, then I can anticipate that when this happens, when they get through here, it might go ahead and trend to these actions. So to put that to a relative test, I would back test this, of course, but this is what I noticed. Come on, erase already, so I can go ahead and move forward. Thank you. All right, let's just say you're doing it on a 1 minute, right? Here's our extremes, but we already know our range because we already based it out of multiple 30-minute candles or whatever the case may be. Oh, this is a good drop. I should have took that one, but we'll come back to that. Right. So now what I'm looking for is now that it's at the extreme, I want it to give me some type of reversal, right? So let's go ahead and play that out. Give me the reversal, because you know this is a range. Boom. This is your entry right here. And if this is your entry, then that means you're going to be doing just the micro trend of this itself, right? And it should follow that trend. So let's see what happens. All right, it's starting to get to that. So here's your 50. This should be a TP1. Your TP2 should be somewhere around here, right? And then now watch this. Go ahead and continue. Oh, it broke through. So you should have already took your money. If it bounced off of here and you feel comfortable, maybe you can go chase for TP2. But again, you got to your TP1. Wait for it to get past the extremes, come back in the range, and then go off. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because all you've been doing was playing in the range, and when it gets to extremes, you at your runners, and your runners are the ones that's doing the work. No, that was a 30-minute range. Oh yeah, it's 50 ticks to the center, and then it's 100 ticks to the top. It is. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he used the linear regression to keep them in line. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there's method to the madness. Yeah. Yeah, they look for patterns and they're like, oh, well, there's a glitch here. Yeah, the reason they see the glitch is because every time something happens, if this happens, then they'll do this. It's something that they exploit. That's what we're doing. We're exploiting people's patterns in trading. Yeah, that was just a 30-minute range. Yeah, so let's just say 30 minutes or yeah, yeah. That's your exit exactly. Especially when we're sitting and watching the chart, we can take advantage of these opportunities. It's all good. I got you. Execute. Mm-hmm. Correct. but you close your eyes the whole entire time. Yeah, exactly. Perfect analogy. You're up to bat, your opportunity, but you hesitate to execute. You just close your eyes, like, all right, oh man, I missed my entry. Oh man, I should have did this. Oh man, because everything is hindsight, right? But what you should do is have conviction on what you're doing. That's why they always say when you're doing baseball, you have to step in. Then that means you're planting. You're already setting up what you're about to do. And then when the opportunity comes, you execute on time. And whatever happens, happens. Oh, swing and a miss. All right, that's a strike. All right, same mechanics. They don't change the mechanics. If anything, they might go to like a bunt or everything else. But everything that has to do with baseball has the setup. Step in, boom, bang. And I like that. I love that analogy. I gotta write that one down. Shout out to Javi. I got you. I got you. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh, and and work and push to that exactly because the market ranges 70% of the time. It's not all imbalances, but everybody's always swinging for the fences. Like there's always imbalances. It's not there is going to be where it retraces like this. This is now establishing a range that's inside of another range, which is our opening range. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, because five base hits at 20 ticks per, that's 100 ticks that you didn't have before. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That changes the game. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. There we go. Here's our opening range that's starting to break out right here. I'm not gonna play it. I'm gonna play for, and we just got all time highs right now. I'm gonna play the breakdown because I'm assuming that Friday we're not gonna get no real momentum on this. I'm just mad that I don't have those 585s for. I have 590s that expire in 590s that expire in on today, and I got rid of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Order filled.
Mm-hmm. 590 and 585. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was a solid payout. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Order filled.
Yeah. No, I'm on the same page with you. Mm-hmm. The Love Boat. Yeah, that's old school. That he's showing your age, Javi.
Order filled.
Let's see if we can get this on the short. All right, no problem. Don't want to do that. that won't add up, Javi. That won't add up. It looked like they're buying the dip on each one of these. All right, Javi. Are you gonna buy the dip again? Or are you gonna break down? Because I'm thinking we're gonna get the range break out, but I do feel like it was kind of put up on fluff a bit, and they couldn't wait for them to get close to here, and they're just gonna break them down. That's what it feels like to me. I may be wrong. All right, it's overheated, yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. All right, they came back against the trend. Let's see if it breaks it here. If it breaks it down here, we should get a push down. I'm looking for us to go back to that 65 again. I'm sorry for clearing my throat so much. I gotta get something to drink. Oh, yep. Let's get that.
Order filled.
All right, so I gave it 2 shots on playing it to the downside. It's what it's doing is kind of like, let me put it on a 1 minute. It's not really any impactful candles. So you know there's some sense of weakness here. So I just rather be out the way than for me to wake up to a surprise. And I'm not getting any signal that's telling us that we should be on this upside. Probably gonna, let me see, 45 minutes. What does that look like? We got like 4 more minutes. Maybe that's the one that's gonna signal me. Possibly. Probably gonna look at some 585 puts just in case. Let's just put that there and park it just in case it shows it. Same with you. And save order. It's still drifting up, giving some good movement to that upside. Let's come to the 5 minute. We're going to get our full 5 minute close. So that's our continuation here. I would do it as the side by side, but you can see we heated, and this is our bearish divergence that they use to kind of go ahead and give us this move back up. It's still set up for calls, and I just think it's short-term calls. So I'm just waiting to see if I'm right. I might miss out on upside movement by doing that, but I'm okay with that because I think when we finally break this down, it's going to come down. Do I think it could get to like 24,100? No, I think we just made all-time highs, and now the market's going to be like, all right, cool, thank you. Now we got cheaper puts. So that's what I'm kind of looking at. Actually, you know what? Cheaper puts, right? Let me go over to 519. Let's go see this conversation here on these puts. You're already coming down, aren't you? Let me just put this here. Save order. Actually modify that. Make it a limit. Here's a little bit of our breakdown. Kind of shallow, kind of flat. Yep, that's what I thought. I'm gonna try to break through it. Let's see if it rejects off of 72. I got the VWAP that's all the way down at 30. So we might get like a 40-point retracement back to VWAP. That's very possible. It's probably going to be the game plan. And if we don't see no trades, I'll run into some swing trades. Have you been swing trading, Lee? And have you taken anything? Or you just been doing the range? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm gonna break down DraftKings for you because it was one that was in my radar months ago, and I think on one of my shows, I was explaining. I was like, "Whoa, DraftKings usually after the finals they kind of give some money back. So either something good's happening or something's pivoting, and they might do something to kind of change up the patterns. And I'm gonna check it out. I haven't looked at it in a while though. Okay, so they're trying to break back out to that upside after a nice little solid pullback into that 68, which was previous high. So this is kind of like a break and retest. So we may get a push up to the upside again. That means they would have to break 76 off this movement. A lot of these micro trends are here, and it's driving me crazy. That's why we're getting a lot of this chop. All right, so we have an official 45-minute opening, 45-minute setup for more upside. I don't even want to look at Apple. I got out of my Apple December calls because it didn't look like we were doing something particular. So I was like, all right, let me just go ahead and get rid of that. All right, so looking for a 5-minute close above here so I can adhere to my 45-minute. Let's see how that goes. This one we're going to go ahead and get on this side, change accounts. This one's going to be one of my bigger trades. What did I just do? Okay, not what I expected. Oh my God, I just did something completely unexpected. And now my chart just changed on me. Yeah, I was looking for the 5-minute close above. Okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna accept it for what it is. Yeah. Close the layout. Does it return back to my desktop? No, it doesn't. Great. There we go. All right. Let's see how this 5-minute looks. Still kind of looks a little strong. They took out a lot of sell side liquidity on that. That's that move I was saying that we're probably going to get. Kind of came back to retest that opening range. So I think we're going to get more upside. Let's delete this. Let's go look for something current. SoFi, why are you dropping? All right. I'll check you out in a little bit. I got to get close to the money. Let's go with its 30s. Yeah. But then, these 30s. I feel like they're gonna try to toy with people. So I think I'm gonna go with the 587s because they're so cheap, but that's not what I wanted. Be smart, Jeffrey. Just do what you was gonna. We're gonna do one at the money. Just stick with it, and let's save that call order. All right. So did we get? Yeah, we got a 5-minute close above after that 45-minute push. Am I in the right account? Okay, I'm in the right account. So let's start with a small amount. You know, I'm gonna just stick with the futures. I was gonna do options too, but I'm not gonna do that. All right. Solid move there. I am looking for this thing to kind of push all the way to about 24,119. Come on, give me some space so I can put my stop loss into profit. All right, down about 60 bucks. I'm on NQ this time, so a little higher in leverage. All right, got a nice little push there. Probably gonna break right through. I'm looking for us to break through 85 with some strength here as they try to figure out where is the top. I think the top is at 119. There we go. Come on. Keep the party going. There we go. Making higher highs. Let's go ahead and push. Put my stop loss into profit at break even. Come on, you just made higher highs. Stop trying to come to my stop. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Did you just spike it up just to hit my stop? They spiked it up and they pulled it right on back down. That is just disrespectful. All right, so they're out of this. They're out of this. And they're out of this. Right now, we're just going levels to levels at this point. And that's what's happening. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this trend. And adjust this one here. We're doing something a little disrespectful a bit. Okay. And then now we're trying to do this. I went back to my trend lines. Lee, you remember my trend line class? Yeah, I was doing a review of Tory trades, and then I was like, trend lines. I remember I used to love trend lines. And I just pulled it right back out of the woodworks.
Order filled.
And I was like, yeah, we're gonna try to make this monster take off. And stop it. You're not gonna go down yet. We're going to go to 24 100. Come on.
Order filled.
All right, we had a second one there. See if we can get ourselves a nice little epic moves back up. Come on. Go get all that sell side liquidity. I thought it was cute to put their puts on now. We're not there yet. This area is where I'm kind of like targeting is that new high here. And since my 5 minute is there, I'm looking at the momentum of my 45 minutes. So if we look at the 45 minute, I'm looking at it like this, that we already pinned to the top. I'm going to hold. So that means the 2 hours should be crossing, which it is. And that's going to be our continuation. And then we're just going to go ahead and flow right through, hit the target. Even if we hit this target, it's just going to come right back down. And that'll be a take profit. Yeah, can it get to 24,200? That's possible, but we're not going to aim that far. That's just being greedy. But I just want to see if we can get ourselves some continuation here. And we'll see. All right, perfect. I want to put my stop loss into break even, but not yet. Come on. Come on. Don't fail your test. You just gave it a nice little kick. Looking out for the pivot at 77. It can cause some issues. They're trying to break it down. All right, they just broke it down. So they might be coming for some type of EMA. Look for 75 bounce maybe.
Order filled.
Come on. Yeah, I took it out. And get that sell side liquidity. Oh, they put another kick, aren't you? They're being disrespectful at this point. It's already too late. If y'all was gonna short it, y'all would have shorted it before we got to open and range. You got way too much buyers here. Oh, damn.
Order filled.
That went against my plan. I was staring at the chart a little bit too hard. Alright, so I rebalanced that. Alright, so we are back to positive. So hold on to this bad boy. And we're going to go ahead and start to take off now. That's what I'm thinking. This pivot here is intact, which is going to create this pivot here when that happens. So let's Control Z that. Come on, give me a new high. You need this 5 minute to break above 488. It's possible, but we just rejected it, so that's why I feel like we already got a test of the fair value gap, and people are reloading because they know they got the supporters of those that's in the fair value gap from here. I think the true number is 24,100 that can bring us back down here, but we got real close. We was at 24,087. That can be the level. We're just playing the probabilities, you know. That's why I didn't want to do it in options. It's a little riskier for option because it might take time for us to do that. Well, in futures, we can just kind of sit on the position. Are you on QQQ options? Okay. It's at the same spot, just dancing sideways. Mm-hmm. And I think it's gonna. There we go. There goes that first push. Let's see if we can get a second one. All right, I'm looking for possible rebuy somewhere around 20,081. That can be a little tricky. All right, let's see if we can bounce here. Struggling to bounce. New 5 minute candles here. This is your toppy pattern, but let's see if we can get all that sell side liquidity, thinking that it's nice here. Let's see if we can trap the bears. Yep, that's a good trap. They sprung it. Let's see if we can take out that high. Boom. And this is where it starts to really push. They're looking for the liquidity now. I got an order at 90. Thinking that 90 is going to go ahead and give us something fun to play with. And as soon as we touch 90, we should fly right through. They're trying to get rid of the buyers right there, but they know they can't. Because we just made new highs and we took out all those highs. So now all the bulls are going to be like, oh, how high can it go? So then they're going to start to pile in here. So let's see if we can take out 90. 24,090.
Stop filled.
All right, putting my stop loss into profit, and we're going to go ahead and tighten it just a little bit more past the profit. Going to see if I can get some more cash as soon as it boom, as soon as it makes a little high, and it starts to put some pressure on these bears. And I think I'm good right here. I'm going to use the previous wick here as my support, so I'm just under that previous wick, top wick I should say. We got 2 minutes. Let's see if we can get that. Tap that 100. Come on, tap that 100. Do not come back down here before tapping that 100. I got an order at 104. Yeah, they sweeping for liquidity down here. You see how they keep on coming back down? They're trying to get to my stop to the best of their ability to stop the pain. All right, so we got rid of that. Our new pivot is here at 79. All right, so they just getting close to my previous high. I got an order at 104. Keep this party going. All right, let's go ahead and check this pivot. Let's see what we got here. They're trying to break down at 91 to bring us back to 88, 87. But I'm looking for them to kind of like really hold this down, because it kind of go a little bit more vertical, because now this fair value gap is telling us that they're still holding. And see one of these 5 minutes, if we could get one of the 5 minutes to put in a fair value gap, we could be really holding relatively well. Let me look at the calls that I was going to buy. What were they at that time? I put it at market by accident. That's not what I meant to do. I think they were like 79 bucks. Now they're like 89.90. One at the money. So you should be up a little bit, right, Lee? All right, cool. All right, so we got a little bit of a pullback trend. They're trying to get into that 87. Let's see if we can get a bounce off of here at 88. That's what I'm looking for, because I want them to tap 100. I know we're way too close to 100 for them not to tap it, but the momentum is dry, so my stop loss where it is sound. I'm gonna try to hold on to this for 10 minutes. Well, really 5 minutes and 55 seconds. So I'm going to try to get to the next 5 minute candle before I make any other decisions. Sometimes, like right now, I'm getting close to my 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, I'm usually like try to be done. That's why this show ends at like 10:30. All right, we got 300 on the board on my future side. That's what we want to see, but it's like slowly going, step by step, like working at a nursing home, and you just got to say, "Hey, we're going to play Pinochle. I gotta get my dentures real quick." That's what the market is doing. Stop being so slow. I'm from the microwave society. I want it, and I want it now. Well, this is the beginning. We want this to establish one. So that means we cannot come below this level. Hence the reason why my stop loss is all the way somewhere around this ballpark figure here, which is giving me close to break even, right? That's what I want to see. But if I am correct and they're going to pin this 5 minute the way I think it can, because the 15 minute looks like this and it's completely up, I'm technically playing as a 15-minute trader, then that means a 30-minute is starting to do its reopening, continuing to that side, all the way to the 2-hour, which given a cross at the center pivot. So if I'm a 2-hour trader, then I'm still inside of this trade. So now I'm in the trend with all these people. Let's see what the 4-hour people probably are thinking. 4-hour people are like, oh, yeah, we still bullish, but there's no momentum, so I might be getting ready to get out. So I think really the 2-hour folks are the ones that's pushing us right now. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Do your thing. I know you had to get some more done, so I appreciate you. All right, no problem. All right, so we still getting this rise, folks. We want this thing to kind of continue. Ooh, that was a nice little jab that they just put on it, because they're trying to avoid creating this fair value gap. They're doing their best to avoid that. Let's see if we can break that momentum that just stepped in there. All right, they just went ahead and tested that. Let's see if we can get a push back up here. Looking for a push above 91. 91. If we can get a nice little push above 91, we're going to continue up. All right, let's see if we can take the sell side liquidity, which just stepped in roughly around that. Oh, we did touch 100? No, we touched 99. We touched 99. That's why we got that breakdown like that. That's a warning shot. They are waiting to short it at 100. How many orders is there? How many stop losses are super tight? Let's see if you're at 104. Let's see if we can take some stops at 104. I think we can get some stops at 104. Get there. There we go. 100. It's been penetrated. I guess I shouldn't say penetrated because that sounds like something else. It has been, I can't say violated either. It has been disrespected. Let's go with disrespected. All right. Put the trend line in the wrong spot. So now, got a nice little move here. We're kind of holding. This is a 100 reject. Let's see if we can get some people to step in at the 100. That's what this boils down to. Can we get people to step at the 100? Can this fair value gap hold for 1 minute and 53 seconds? Can we get a structure that will put us in a position for us to go ahead and take out our TP at 119? A lot of trend lines are around here. A lot of stop losses are around here, especially those that stepped in right there. But there could also be some buy orders because they're seeing that we're going to go ahead and get to the 119. And I think that's what's happening. They were waiting for cheaper prices so they can buy up this dip and then put in the fair value gap. We got to 102. I think we can get to 104. Nice push. Boom. That just happened. 53 seconds. We'll officially create the fair value gap that's going to look like this in 53 seconds, giving us that continuation that we're looking for. Wrong one. All right. Giving us that continuation that we're looking for. Right now, I got $775 on the board. I got another target at 110. Could we get to 110? I think it's possible. That 110 will bring us up into that 119. All right, we put in a fair value gap. Here comes an explosion.
Stop filled.
Let's get to 119, folks. Ah,
Order
damn.
filled.
That sucks. All right, so I made $1,100 on that, but when I say they hit it so hard at that 115, I was looking for the 119, but that mama didn't raise no fool, so we're gonna go ahead and get most of that. And I'm sitting on a runner, but if this thing disrespects and comes back below here, because I would love to have my stop here, but I was looking for deeper profits to do that. But this thing really got hit hard. I really thought it was gonna get to 119. All right, so let's just be patient, be patient, be patient with our runners. Be patient. It's starting to flip red. Don't like that. No one stepping into the bat. All right, closing it.
Order filled.
I'll take it. That was about $1,000, about a $400 drawdown into my drawdown from my prop firm. I'm ecstatic. 1K per day keeps the bill collector away, and I will see y'all tomorrow. You have a great day. Bye-bye.